Hey, what's up guys, Eduardo here, and today's video is a video tutorial on the Straddle Planche. Now I'm going to break this video down into the 3 Ps, which is an abbreviation of the GMB Fitness 5 Ps. So the 3 Ps consist of prep, which is all of your warm-up and prep work for the Straddle Planche and the training to get you into the Straddle Planche, just to prepare you for exercise. The second P is practice, and that's your specific skill work that will enable you to understand the position of protraction, leaning your shoulders forward so that you can continue getting better and combine the muscles together and working synergistically to hold that specific progression. And there's going to be 5 progressions in this practice portion. And then the last P is push, which is your conditioning. This is the amount of exercises that are going to help you get stronger so that you can advance to the different progressions. So that's how we're going to break down this video. It's going to be all about getting ready, then setting up your progression to understand the movement, and then using the push exercises to get stronger so that you can keep advancing in the progressions. So let's get started. So to prep for the Straddle Planche, you want to make sure that your wrists are nice and flexible, or at the very least loose for the day. So have your hands out to the side and rock side to side, and you can play around with all the positions that your fingers are pointing, so you can point them backwards and rock side to side, or you could even hold it, turn your palms upward. Just make sure that your elbows are locked and your elbow pits are pointed forward. That's going to help you get the greatest stretch. And then when your fingers are forward, just try to lean as far forward as you can, as the Straddle Planche requires a big forward lean. When your wrists are nice and loose, start working on cat-cows to practice scapular protraction and a posterior pelvic tilt. So this downward portion here is arching your back, and this upward portion here is rounding your back. For the Straddle Planche, you want to make sure that your back is nice and rounded, so make sure that this is in your prep work too. As you come up, tuck your tailbone in, engage the abs, round your upper back, feel a huge stretch, and slightly tuck your chin into your chest. Up next is to stretch out the adductors, so posterior pelvic tilt, rounding your back just like you did in your cat-cow, and you're just going to rock back and forth. This is going to help you open up the hips, very important for when you move up to the Straddle Planche. When you've done these, you're ready to get started with the progressions. For the assisted tuck planche, you're going to slightly turn your fingers out to the side, round your upper back, and bring your knees up to your chest. Try to get as light on your feet as possible. Keep your hips down, but try to crunch your knees up to your chest. From here, you can start to lean as far forward as you can, and that's going to make your feet feel really light so that you can move up to the tuck planche. During these progressions, you start to realize that the forward lean is very important, and that's how you're going to continue to advance, by counterbalancing the legs coming out with a forward lean. So the advanced tuck planche is you bringing your knees down to the floor, having your legs parallel to the floor, and you leaning as far forward as possible. Once you could do that, you're ready to move on to the open tuck planche, which is separating your feet, getting a huge forward lean, and that already looks like the Straddle Planche. So all you have to do now is gradually extend the legs and continue leaning forward. So now that you know the progressions, you want to make sure that you're doing them perfectly. So think of this as playing a song, and let's say you get a lot of the song correctly, but some notes are off, and you learn how to play that for years. You're going to play it wrong every single time. So instead of developing the bad habits, you want to make sure that you're doing things correctly all the time for whatever skill, including the Straddle Planche and the Straddle Planche progressions. So make sure that all of that is perfect. So I'll cover some mistakes right now. So you might have noticed that I look down to the floor every time I do my Straddle Planche and planche progressions. So the reason for that is because the more you look up, the more likely you are to arch your back. It's not to say that that's guaranteed, but it's possible, and the more you look up, the easier it'll be to arch your back. So when you're here, I'm already in a rounded position, whereas if I'm looking up, it's easier for me to sink down into my shoulders so that they're squeezing together, and you want to do the opposite. You want to pull them apart. Same thing with the tailbone. You want to make sure that it's tucked in and nice and low to the floor so that it's parallel to the floor. When you're here and you arch your hips are too high, legs are bent, shoulders are pulled together, eyes are up, and so eyes can go up, but everything else has to remain tucked in. So that's why I look down to the floor, because it's just a little bit easier, and that's all the progressions. So tuck planche, advance, and open tuck planche. So now that you know the progressions, we're gonna work on exercises to get you stronger, specifically for advancing on the progressions. Now, what we're using here are push-up variations, where you can slowly build up your pressing strength so that it translates to the straddle planche. Alright guys, hope you liked that video, and seriously, there's just so much action that you can take right now. You can go through this video and get started with your prep work, and then follow that with your practice work, and then finish your session with the push and conditioning portion of the video. That's going to help you overall get stronger. Now, if you need a little bit more guidance and one-on-one support, I am accepting clients, so reach out to me or leave them in the comments, and I'll send you an application to fill out, and we can get started by setting up a coaching consultation. But if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and yada yada yada. Until next time.